get Pogačar.
Yeah, I think you're right there. But we might as well switch the focus to the man who I think this is his last race as well for the team. Soudal Quick-Step's Remco Evenepoel. Maybe he'll also be sent to the Tour of Guangxi. Matthias Norsgaard on his podcast says everyone who is leaving the team is normally sent to the Tour of Guangxi as a bit of a punishment for leaving the team. So that's why are we going to see Remco and Juan Ayuso at the Tour of Guangxi? That would be very funny. But I mean, that would make the edition, the race a lot more interesting if those two went. That aside, we mentioned that race far too much in Lombardia preview. Patrick, Remco Evenepoel, almost the carbon copy result in both Rwanda and in France as well. He was the last man. Okay, he had all those bike problems, or you said bike problems in Rwanda with the saddle. Well, no, not you, the mechanic. You're just the messenger. But in the European Championships, there, I thought he would be fine. Those two were very quickly the last two riders, and yeah, just couldn't do anything about it. It looked like he was somewhat getting Pogačar back, but then it just went out like from 22 seconds all the way up to a minute and a half. Okay, on paper it says like 30 seconds, but let's be honest, it was far above a minute. So why would it change here? They are also the number 1 and 2 from last year's Lombardia.
Yeah, ever the bridesmaid, sadly, Remco Evenepoel whenever Pogačar's on the start list. And you're right, I think in European Champs, I think he did a really good ride. Riding with Seixas and Scaroni and Ayuso, but once he ditched them, he was actually holding Pogačar and actually kind of making inroads into him at points. So I think that Evenepoel's is good. When it settles down to mano a mano, he is good, and he's actually probably, I'd say, a little bit better than Pogačar as long as the terrain's somewhat flat. It's just that when Pogačar really turns the screw on a climb, Evenepoel can hang on for a little bit, but it's not enough, sadly. And that's just the really brutal truth that I think will also be the case in Lombardia, is that his team's just going to make that second to last climb hard and harder, and then he's just going to attack, and Evenepoel's going to hold him for like 30 seconds and just blow up again. Blow up, just not be able to follow the wheel, as nobody else on planet Earth is able to do. There's nothing to be ashamed of. That's how I see Evenepoel doing. I think second place is definitely on the cards. I just don't see, based upon what we've seen from World Champs and European Champs, how he's going to beat Poggy, to be honest. Unless he attacks him. Maybe he attacks him early. He returns the favour that Pogačar did to him in European Champs.
But the problem is here that UAE Team Emirates is no Slovenia in terms of team. They'll be all over him. Del Toro, Juan Ayuso marking him if he tried. But, I mean, let's hope he does. Yeah, he has very storied past with this race as well. Remember 2020, that's why he almost, frankly, lost his life, or could have. And then very emotional last year, finishing second, and who knows if he'll ever win this race. I mean, if Tadej Pogacar is on the start line, like you said, I don't see it happening. But yeah, what would your advice be to Remco Evenepoel to try and win this? So you've had Lombardia, where 48 kilometers he attacks. You've had the European Championships. You've had the World Championships recently. So how do you stop the inevitable?
Do you remember the Patrick Lefevre pothole from Liège-Bastogne-Liège that I still have a conspiracy theory about? I think Lefevre might need to come back, get his pickaxe out, and dig a pothole. Honestly, I don't know what advice I'd give to Evenepoel. I'd say, enjoy your second place. I don't know. What advice can you say? You can't say ride hard. That's just ridiculous. I honestly don't know what you do. Try and get a satellite rider up the road, or two. Just put all of your team, apart from 2 people, into the breakaway, and then just hope that there's enough of them left over that final climb where they can just drag you back. Maybe that gives you a 2% chance of victory.
It's like in the Marvel movie where he says, like, you've got 1 chance in 16 million. That is the chance. Anyways, Remco Evenepoel, Tadej Pogačar's side. I think the next obvious place to go is Paul Seixas, because this kid is frighteningly good. 19 years. Very recently turning 19, foregoing the under-23 category in the European Champions and also in the Worlds the week before. Third place in the road race that we saw, dispatching of Scaroni and Juan Ayuso, and winner of the Tour of Avenir this year as well. Patrick, what do you think he can do in his first ever monument? 19.
I know, dude, it's insane, isn't it? This guy is actually the real deal. It wasn't just like, oh, he was, Tour of the Alps, okay, that's fun. Dauphiné, we're all sitting up a little bit more. Tour de l'Avenir, we knew we was going to kind of win that, but then 13th in Rwanda, 3rd the other day at European Champs. I mean, we all now officially, everybody knows his name now. Could he finish 3rd here? I don't think it's beyond the realms of possibility, But you also have to consider it is a bit it is longer than European Champs, which was 202 Ks. This is like 240, so it's going to be another nearish an hour of racing. So you're going to be looking towards 5.5 to 6.5 hours of racing. Probably more likely 6 because it's got more elevation in there. So we don't know how Seixas is going to do with that. I mean, from the World Champs, which was 260 odd kilometers, he was 13th. So that's where I'm getting that little bit like trepidation, where he was 13th there, but he was 3rd in European Champs. Is that final sort of hour of racing really his kryptonite at the moment? Could that be the thing that denies him? Because on paper, he is very good, and he should be able to, contest for a podium place. Because you'd say, okay, he's not as good as Pogačar, he's not as good as Evenepoel based on the other day, and the World Champs, but 3rd place. Who else is there for 3rd place that he can compete against? Like, in theory, oh yeah, true. The Bull, Del Toro. I would favour Del Toro. But that's not to say that Seixas finishing off of the podium is like a failure by any means. Like, this guy could finish. On any occasion, somebody at his age finishing top 20 in this race would be a fantastic result. It's just that he set the bar really high.
Do you think his team, well, we don't know the team officially, but Decathlon versus the French team, do you think he might be in a better position, his teammates, rather than the national team, where they're all pseudo teammates rather than trade teammates, and you have a sports director? Yeah, radios are also a factor here as well. So do you think he'll have more support in that sense as well?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he still had some support. Like, Prodom was up in the breakaway.
But yeah,
so he had
Paul Sivakov, who's a pseudo Slovenian rider.
Yeah, true. I think that it will be more advantageous for him to have his actual trade team and race radios, because he was looking around an awful lot at Scaroni in that finale because dude just had no idea what the gap was. And yeah, I think that he will do better this time round, because like you say, we don't know what Decathlon's team is, but you can imagine that it's going to have a Prodom, it's probably going to have Aurélien Paris-Pentre, it's probably going to have, Clément Berthet or something like that as well. I think it's going to be a pretty decent squad, with Seixas, unbelievably, at the age of 19, likely being their leader.
Youngest leader ever in Lombardia, well, for quite a while. Youngest winner, obviously, I feel like I'm the only one who actually cares about these kind of statistics. We talked about the Fasto Coppi winning 5 times, not 9. But the youngest winner of this, now that we are on Paul Seixas, is back in 1905, 20 years and 161 days, Giovanni Gerbi. So he could actually be the youngest ever winner of this race entirely if he does win, but I think that'll have to be a freak and incident for quite a few riders.